So, I don't even think it's with most, but with some people, they don't seem to realize that honey isn't vegan. And I've noticed that some of them don't even know that insects are animals, which is really weird. But um, yeah, the reason why honey isn't vegan is because bees are animals, and veganism goes. It's about like not having any sort of oppression or slavery as a whole. It's not just about direct pain and suffering and torture and abuse, even though there are lots of problems with various aspects of the beekeeping industry. But even if it weren't, it still wouldn't be vegan because you have no right to steal honey from bees, just like you wouldn't have a right to steal food from humans. And I never really understood why people don't seem to get that. I mean, if you eat honey, whatever, but don't call it vegan because by definition it's not vegan. I don't know why people feel such a strong urge to shackle themselves to a label that they don't even fit in with, when usually it's the opposite and people don't like to label themselves. But yeah, honey could never possibly be vegan because it's an animal product, and it goes into the aspects of we shouldn't be treating them like they're our property, and treating them like their honey is ours to take is doing exactly that. It's objectifying. It's saying to the bees, you're here to provide food for us. And what their honey is food for them that they make to store over the winter when less plants are in bloom, and they'll have to like feed on the honey that they made instead of all the pollen from all the plants because they're less in bloom. So we're literally stealing the honey that they slave over making for quite a while and like work really hard at, and we're acting like it's ours to take. So like I don't care how nicely the bees are treated, we're still putting them in that same system of acting like they're our property and we get to take what they make. And yeah, well, this is how I think of it. If you think honey is vegan, then think about if cows were treated nicely. Would you then suddenly consider their milk to be vegan? Like, I think pretty much everyone gets that milk will never be vegan because it's an animal product. So even if you do say, oh, well, I treat my bees nicely, or I know someone who treats their bees nicely, like, that's not the point. Like, that's only part of the point. It's basically like saying, you know, slavery is okay as long as you treat your slaves well enough. And again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just trying to explain why it's not vegan. So it goes way beyond what you think it does, and it's about animal products as a whole, not just if there's little literal direct torture and abuse. But then of course there can be a lot in the bee farming industry anyway. And let's see, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. Think about humans in place of every instance that animals are in when you're like wondering why we do the things we do. If you wouldn't steal a female's milk or eggs and consume them, then don't do that with cows and chickens. That's how we see things. Um, I feel like there was more I was going to say. Yeah, I guess that sums it up. Just, it'll never be vegan. If you want to eat it, just, like, why would you just say you're a vegan or that honey is vegan? Like, why do you feel the need to hog tie yourself, so to speak, to a label that you don't even agree with because it inherently excludes animal products that you don't exclude? Like, why do you even want to be called a vegan if you're just going to be fine eating animal products? It should be considered disgusting to you. Oh, well, I guess not disgusting because a lot of people are okay with it even if they do eat animal products, but still, like, it'll never be vegan no matter how much you want it to be. No one's saying that, you should be forced by gunpoint to, like, not eat it, but don't, like, label yourself a vegan if you don't. Or at least don't say honey is vegan, because obviously it's not. And we need to do better as a society at realizing that animals are not our property, They're not ours to do what we want with. They're not ours to steal from. They're not ours to treat as slaves. They're not ours to objectify. And we need to be more compassionate and treat them as better equals, at least, and realize that they're not here to serve us. Any animal product you get from that is saying that that they're here to serve us. They're here to be slaves to the humans. They're here to do work for the humans and create things for the humans. And that's like partially what they're meant to be for, and that's not true. That's completely man-made concept, you know.